Good morning. I am so excited to share what I have to share with you today. I have been thinking about our education system. And the reason I've been thinking about our education system is there have been several young ladies that I've been mentoring that have not felt like they are smart, that they have not felt like they can do anything or that they can accomplish their goals. And the reason that is because of the training that we've received throughout our lives. I want you to think about school. You take a test. In this test, you're going to get either an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. And it was all based on this test. This one test determined what grade you got. Well, the A was excellent. The B was good. C was kind of satisfactory. D was it's okay. And F is you failed. And the problem with that is, what did you have to do for this grade? A lot of times all you had to do is memorize something. That's all you had to do, is you just had to go through the process to memorize something they gave to you. Maybe it was a spelling list. Maybe it was, some facts and figures. My question is to you is, how much of that do you remember now? For a lot of us, it's very little. But because of the training we received back then, we still allow that to influence us now. And what I mean by that is, if we don't get the approval of somebody else. So see, we had to send this paper in. And then as we gave it to the teacher, they went through and they graded who we were. They determined if we were smart or not. Well, I'm here to tell you that smarts is not just from the piece of paper. And here's my story with that. I took the test that was known to put you, I don't remember what, I think they called it it was a placement test is what it was. I hated taking tests. Hated it. I do not like paper tests. They just drive me crazy, and I never really took them seriously. Especially those bubble tests. Oh man, just filling in the bubbles, blah, blah. Oh, are you kidding me? That was ridiculous. So I got this test. And I had just taken the math, I had just taken the science, I had just taken, all of these tests back to back to back to back. And then I had to do my writing test. I was so done with tests by this point. The last thing I wanted to do was write. But I went through and I filled out my bubbles and, and if you notice what those bubbles form, it was a smiley face. Yes, I'm serious. I formed bubble smiley faces on my test. And I handed it in. I was done. And this was my junior year. So I get called into the office about a week later. And the counselor looks at me and he says, "Tony, I need you're going to have to redo your schedule. We have to have you take this other class." I said, "I'm not taking another class. I'm not redoing my schedule." "Well, you need to." They said, "You tested the lowest out of the whole school in your English." And I was like, I'm not going to be put into a different class. I said, I'm done taking tests. I was done with that test. There was no way I wanted to do anything. And they kept telling me, "No, you've got to go to this class. You've got to go to this special reading class. And they're going to teach you how to read and all of this." And I said, I looked, and I was a very stubborn kid in a lot of ways. And very grateful for this stubbornness. So I looked at the counselor and I said, I am not going to go to any special reading class. I said, I did not want to take that test. I do not do good at these dumb bubble tests. Oh, it was an Iowa Basic Skills test. That's what it was. I knew it would come to me. I said, I think they're ridiculous. You cannot tell me that you know how smart I am from a test like that. And he said, well, if you don't go here, then some different consequences. I said, I'm not going to go there. I'm not redoing my class. I'm not going to change anything. I said, if you put me in that class, I'm not going to show up. And then she just kept pushing and pushing. I said, okay, fine. You give me that test again, just that portion of the test, and I will take this ridiculous test. I wasn't too I respected her, but I did not respect the test, and I still do not respect the test. And she said, well, we can't do that. I said, well, I'm not going to go into any other class because I know I can read well. I know I can do. If I didn't know how to read, okay, that's one thing. But I would read in the class. It was obvious I knew how to read. But they kept trying to tell me that I was dumb. They kept trying to tell me that I needed to get fixed. And I kept saying, no, I don't. And I said, you give me that test, just that test, and I'll take your dumb test again, and we'll see what happens. So she said, well, I've got to see if I can get permission to do that, blah, blah, blah. She got permission because I was not going anywhere. I was not going to go to this class. So she said, okay, I got permission, but only on the chance that if you test really low on this, that then you're going to have to go to this class. Now, I understand that she was just looking after me. She was wanting to care for me. She was a counselor. She wanted to be the best for me. But I also understood I was a lot smarter than any test ever would show. So I said, okay, fine. If that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. I went back. I took just that test. She called me in a week later, and she's laughing. She said, you're right, Tony. You definitely don't need that other class. You ended up testing higher than everybody else in the school. And that always stuck with me. It's always stuck with me. And especially now with my children, how people will grade them and say that this wasn't smart, especially if it's something creative. Oh, don't get me on the creativity side. I lose it. Because who are you to determine that you're smart or not? Now, I understand if you have a hard time reading. I understand if you're struggling with some of the basics. But a lot of the tests, a lot of that, what they say is smart, is just regurgitating memorization. I know a lot of people out there who are just phenomenally smart. Oh my goodness. And they never got out of high school. Do I think there's a reason for high school? Absolutely. I'm not discounting education in any way, shape, or form. Because, matter of fact, they are continuing to get education. And I continue to get education. But not in the form of sit down in a class and have somebody else dictate to you whether you are smart or not. I do not agree with that. Because this individual that I'm thinking of specifically, there's a couple of them. When they came into me and we're sitting down and we're mentoring, and they were talking about some of the struggles they had, they were talking about how they didn't feel like they could accomplish things in their life. I said, why is that? Well, in the process of the mentoring, we realized that they had a story that when they were a little kid, they couldn't go out to play because they couldn't read well enough. Well, what a kid understands is that I'm dumb, therefore I can't go play. They don't understand that we're trying to help them unless you do that. And you do it in a way that you don't withhold them from recess. I mean, seriously. The one outlet we have to get our energy out, to get the emotions and to take care of it. Now Congress and that, they're trying to get rid of it. Oh, are you kidding me? We need to move. We need to express our emotions. We need to get the negative emotions out of us. And one way is exercise. And these people, you can tell I get a little passionate about it, in Washington think they know what's best. They don't. They do not know what's best. Matter of fact, most of them don't have a clue. Most of them are just back there getting a paycheck and trying to create laws and rules so they can feel like they did something. Frankly, get rid of most of the laws and rules, and then maybe that actually show you do something. Because this test and all these different bubble tests, they don't tell you if you're smart enough. Can they give you some guidance? Yes, I understand that. But to determine whether or not somebody is smart, I'm sorry, there are so many different ways to know if you're smart or not. And going back to this, so these young ladies, and I'm sitting there mentoring with them and helping them work through what they were struggling with. And we realized it was that story when they were in third grade. Third grade that was still with them, and they were now in their 20s and 30s. I just asked them, I said, how's that third grade story still serving you? And it's not. It didn't serve them back then, and it's not serving them now. But yet they felt it because of the story that they were told, because they had to stay in from recess. These tests, these tools, do not determine if you are smart. They do not determine if you can accomplish something. They do not determine if you have value or worth in this world. All these things do is help give the teacher some guidance. But even they don't get much guidance from this because their hands are tied too because of the legal stuff. If you are in this place right now, I'm here to tell you, you are smart. You are brilliant. And you're brilliant in your own ways. If you were to ask me about math stuff, but you ask me about how to take care of your health, how to take care of your mental health, how to improve your emotional state, how to accomplish and achieve goals, oh yeah, I'm smart. You ask me about math, nope, don't care. I really don't care to know more than my daughter does. Matter of fact, once they got into junior in high school, maybe sometimes even sophomore, depending on the child, it's beyond me. I said, okay, you need to go to your mom now to get help. I am smart in my own ways. I'm very intelligent and I can help people in my own ways. That's the same with you. You are a brilliant genius in your own way. School doesn't determine that. You determine that. What is it you love and are passionate about that you know you could just help somebody else if given the chance? And I know you know what it is, even though you're kind of also sitting there going, am I smart enough? Do I really have enough to share? Does anybody really care? Do they even really want to listen? Do I have any value? Do I have a purpose? All of these things that you're going through and that you're thinking, I'm here to tell you, you do have value. You do have purpose. You do have worth. And any old stories, the good thing is with some of these tools that I've already taught you, is you can wipe them away. You can get rid of all of those old stories that were holding you back. Everybody that was saying you had to stay in from recess. And you can have a clean slate. And that clean slate will allow you to do marvelous, fantastic, amazing things. All you have to do is just believe in yourself just a little bit. Do the identity poster, the power poster that I talk about. Do the other exercises, the truths and lies exercises. Do the things that help to build your identity of who you are, how valuable a person you are. The skills you have inside of you can help so many people. Just believe in yourself. I do. I believe in you. There's so much more that you can share with the world. But you've got to believe it. Not this past story, which is now erased. I hope you realize how amazing you are. Thank you for listening. You are really tremendously, absolutely, phenomenally amazing. You have so many talents and skills and gifts that you need to share with the world. If you have any questions, please post them below. Because education, as it is now, does not determine if you are smart, does not determine if your kid's smart, does not determine anything except for help the teacher kind of know maybe some areas that she may need to work on. And if we can get back to that point and we focus on the strengths and build their identity to help them realize they're so phenomenal, amazing, and that you're so phenomenal, amazing, because we focus on our strengths, that's where you're going to succeed the most. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Please share this. Let me know how I can help you. If you need some mentoring, you have something that's holding you back, you just need to get unstuck and moving forward in life, need to gain some confidence, increase your self-esteem so that you can live an empowered life, I would love to help you out. Thank you and have a wonderful day.